So in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can add Apple CarPlay to a Range Rover Evoque or pretty much any other modern vehicle that has a screen as standard. And all you're going to need is one of these boxes. This is a third-party Apple CarPlay unit. The units are designed to integrate seamlessly with your car's existing infotainment system by simply plugging into the factory head unit. Now most of these units support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as supporting screen mirroring. Now the Range Rover Evoque either has a Bosch or a Harman system. To figure out which system your vehicle has, you need to look at the time on the original head unit. If the time's located in the middle, generally the system will be a Harman one. If the time's located to the top right hand corner, this will mean that you have the Bosch system. If it has a Bosch system, it will be located behind the dashboard. Now if you have a Harman system, the unit will generally be located under the right hand front seat of the vehicle. So for this vehicle, we'll be installing a Harman unit. We need to first remove the driver's seat, which is held in with Torx star-headed bolts. So you'll need a special socket set to remove it. I'll add a link in the description to some tools that will be helpful, as well as the CarPlay unit I'm installing. For this installation, I'm not going to disconnect the driver's seat wiring harness. Instead, I'm going to move the seat back and forward to remove the bolts underneath it, and tilt the seat back once everything is undone. This means that I won't cause any unwanted warning lights or issues that may arise from disconnecting the seat. Once the seat is undone, we need to remove the plastic cover and move the carpets out of the way. This will give us full access to the Harman head unit. With this all out the way, we can now disconnect the original wiring harness. The new CarPlay system plugs in using the original harness that splits the harness to run through the CarPlay system and the Harman unit. This is a bit of a fiddly task and it will take some time. We also still need to disconnect the purple fibre optic cable that goes into the back of the Harman unit, as this is going to run through the Apple CarPlay unit and back into the Harman unit. But before we do this, we're going to remove the Harman unit from the frame. Now the reason for this is actually because the cable for the LCD screen isn't long enough to reach the Apple CarPlay box. So we're just going to take it away from the wiring harness, and then it will give us enough excess on it to be able to plug it into the Apple CarPlay box. We need to then connect the fibre optic in and out wires that come from the original screen. One of the cables will need to run from the white socket on the back of the Apple CarPlay unit, which will go across into the Harman head unit. The cable that runs from the screen will then need to plug into the purple socket on the back of the CarPlay unit. This is now all connected up, and if you're installing to a Range Rover Evoque, you'll need to hold in the fast forward button on the steering wheel to switch to the CarPlay unit. Other vehicles such as the Discovery Sport may use different buttons, such as holding in the home button. So that all summarises the installation. I'll show you my dip switches here that are on the back. I've got 1, 2 and 5 down, and then 3 and 4 up. Also don't forget to connect the microphone, otherwise you won't be able to use the audio for phone calls. And I've popped a link in the description for this CarPlay unit, as well as some of the tools that you'll need for the installation.